Over the weekend, Twitter has become a battleground in its own. Everyone has their opinions, but one question still stands. How are AEW stars able to cross over into WWE and vice versa? Who all is in this new family? And where is John Cena? Well, not all the questions have been answered, but one of them most definitely has. Tony Khan has made a big announcement via video chat, and he starts talking with a shaky voice, saying that his father, Shad Khan, has now bought 51% of AEW shares and has sold AEW to TKO. So now TKO owns AEW. The Rock walks in front of him, glasses on, mean smug, as he's now the one with all the power. He is now the true final boss. The Rock says, Monday marks the beginning of a new era, the era of the Aligned Wrestling Federation. Now this spans across WWE, TNA, AAA, and now AEW, which includes Forbidden Door. So we now partner with New Japan. This is a wrestling dream come true under one man, me. So sit back and let the final boss take you for a ride. The video ends, and an hour later, he makes a post saying we're getting 3 matches for 3 main events for 3 shows this week. Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles, Jon Moxley versus Hangman Page, and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. Monday Night Raw starts off with the Bullet Club in the locker room. AJ Styles, Finn Balor, Adam Cole, and Cody Rhodes. Finn starts off, well, this is quite a pickle we have here. AJ says, yeah, but this TKO takeover is starting to get out of hand. Adam jumps in and says, yeah, but only one guy knows him best, Cody Rhodes. Cody gets up and says, look, I know these guys. It's either peace or it's a war with them. Now, we don't know who all they have, but I'd say we need to grow our numbers and prepare. The camera pans off, and we have the opening match. Mustafa Ali versus say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. And spoilers, Joe Hendry wins. We gotta show some love to TNA every once in a while. I mean, we can't be beating their champion at a big event in a one-off match, can we? So, this is a solid 3-star match, no interference, as TNA remains neutral in this war, for now. About halfway through the show, we get another backstage video, with AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes preparing for AJ Styles' match, when Nick Aldis walks in and asks to speak with Cody Rhodes alone. AJ nods and tells Cody, you know, if you need me, I'm right outside. Then AJ walks off. Nick Aldis tells Cody not to worry, but I've made sure it'll be a one-on-one match. No physical interference for all 3 matches. Cody asks, so how do I know you're not with them? Nick says, if I wanted revenge, I would have taken it after All Out in 2018. And I sure as hell would have gotten in by now. And he walks off. AJ walks back in and says, what was that about? Cody looks at him and says, well, I beat him back then. And it fades away. We skip to the main event, which is Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles. AJ makes his way to the ring, always looking around because anybody can be anywhere. Seth Rollins' music hits, and he comes out with Becky Lynch because Becky will be on commentary. AJ shakes his head and just mouths. Of course, for the cause of no interference, she's on commentary for the night, or for this match, at least. The match starts, and they go toe-to-toe, but AJ is always keeping his eye on Becky. And about 5 minutes into the match, AJ just barely manages to get a phenomenal forearm on Seth Rollins, and it looks like he's going for a finish. When Becky Lynch gets up, takes off her headphones, and stands on the announcer's desk and yells AJ Styles' name. First, AJ ignores her. Then Becky Lynch grabs a mic and says into it, "I guess I'll go find Wendy then." That gets AJ Styles' attention. AJ whips around and says, "What did you just say?" And that's just long enough for Seth to recover and get a roll-up win on AJ. 1, 2, 3. AJ Styles wins, and as promised, there was no physical interference. AJ looks upset, and Rollins and Becky laugh and celebrate up the ramp as Raw goes off air. On Wednesday Night Dynamite, it starts with the opening match, Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta. You see, the family wants to end this little quarrel that Yuta has with the Death Riders. Mox is occupied right now with the main event. Wheeler Yuta comes out and grabs the mic. Then he says, "You want to know why I did it? It's because this place has become a corporate shit show. Mox, Claudio, do you remember what you did to Danielson as I was reaching out my hand to save my friend? So no, I'm not gonna fight tonight or ever again. Not for this. Not like this." We get a flashback on a Tron to when the Death Riders retire Danielson, and you see the camera zoom in on Wheeler Yuta stretching out his hand. It goes back to Wheeler Yuta in the ring, and he begins to walk away. But Shad Khan appears on the big screen, and he says, "You're either with us or you're against us." And Claudio Castagnoli hits Yuta from behind. He proceeds to beat Yuta all around the arena, in the ring, out the ring, and by the announcer's desk. He throws Yuta against the ring post and busts his head hard way. Then he throws Yuta in the ring, grabs 2 chairs, puts one under Wheeler Yuta's head, and hits him with the concerto. He does it twice, for good measure. Then he throws the chair out the ring, gets out the ring, and walks to the back. We go backstage to see Jon Moxley getting ready for his match. Then we see Christian walk up to him. Christian tells Mox that, hey, he's come in peace. And then Shad Khan walks in between them. He says, "Surely we can all come to a peaceful agreement. Isn't that right, Mr. Moxley?" Mox says, well, the big bad boss has come out to meet me, huh? See, I'm not interested. Then Mox walks off. And Shad Khan says, "What if it was for the AEW title?" Christian looks at Shad, confused. Mox sees this and smiles. You see, Christian wasn't in on this part of the plan. Mox says, "When?" And Shad says, "You do me a favor, and I'll do you one. And you can have that shot whenever you want." Moxley gives an evil grin, looks at Christian. He says, Seems like we have a deal, and walks off. Christian looks at Shad, and Shad looks back and says, "What? If you're worried, then don't lose." And he walks off. We get to the main event, Jon Moxley versus Hangman Page. No interference. Both wrestlers make their entrance and get in the ring safely. They circle each other for about a good 20 seconds. And then they have a regular match for about a good 10 minutes. And these wrestlers are going at it. I'm talking about V-triggers. Page does a suplex, then Mox does a suplex, and then back and forth they go. Hangman Page grabs Mox and sends him over the ropes. Mox manages to hold on to the top ropes and then grab on back to Hangman Page and then rakes him in the eye. Mox looks at the crowd and then looks back. As the ref is tending to Hangman Page, Mox goes over to the top turnbuckle and starts to undo it. But this time, the referee sees it, moving Mox out the way and starts trying to fix the turnbuckle. But that gives Mox just enough time to pull out some brass knuckles and hit Hangman Page. And then he throws out the brass knuckles just in time for the referee not to see it. And he pins him for the 1, 2, 3. Mox wins. The crowd boos and Mox gives the middle finger to the camera. And he says, "Hey, don't worry, we're just getting started." And AEW Dynamite goes off air. It's Friday Night SmackDown, and the main event is Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. The show starts, and a black truck pulls up, and Roman Reigns gets out the backseat of the car. He walks up, and then Paul Heyman walks in shot. Roman is ready to Superman punch his ass. But Paul Heyman says, "See, look, I've just come with a message from the final boss." Paul Heyman takes out a phone and hands it to Roman Reigns. The Rock is on the line. Roman says, "Give me one reason why I should." And The Rock, who is on speakerphone, says, "Because the family needs the tribal chief." Roman looks at the phone, then looks back at Heyman, and walks off. The rest of the show is going pretty good, like a normal Friday night, till we get about halfway through. Then we get a backstage segment with Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. Randy walks up and said, "Sup, Cody, man?" Cody laughs and says, "Hi, Randy." Randy continues and says, "Look, Cody, I know you have this war going on with Dwayne, and there are sides being drawn. I just want you to know, it's just like your theme says in wrestling. It's more than one warrior family. I got your back." Cody says, "Thank you. Really, Randy, thank you." Randy says, "No problem," and leaves. We get to the main event, and tensions are high. Remember, these two haven't touched in over a year, and Roman has a score to settle. Cody makes his entrance. We get the whoa and all the pyro you can think of. He comes out, slapping fans' hands and smiling. Then he gets in the ring. Then Roman Reigns' music hits. He comes out with the Ola Fala around his neck, walks down to the ring, just staring a hole in Cody Rhodes. He gets in the ring, and before the bell can ring, they're in each other's faces, glaring. Roman throws the first punch, and a brawl breaks out. The referees and ringside security try to break them up, and you can hear Roman audibly saying, "You took everything from me." And Cody Rhodes responds, "No, I earned it." They break apart for a while, and then the game, Triple H, music hits. He comes out looking rather calm in all of this. He says, "Look, since it's obvious you two hate each other, let's just make this a no disqualification match." And then he walks back to gorilla position. The bell rings and Roman Reigns breaks free. He jumps and lands a clean Superman punch on Cody Rhodes, who falls and rolls out of the ring to recover. The match continues with them beating the hell out of each other with kendo sticks, chairs, stairs, and who the hell else cares. These two just want to unalive each other. But the question on everyone's mind is, since this is a no disqualification match, is the previous deal null and void for no interferences? The match goes on, and these two are tired and bloody. They have a back and forth yay boo spot. But when Roman tries to swing against Cody, Cody ducks it and reverses it into a crossroads. Cody rolls over and reaches for Roman to make the pin. Just then, "If you smell," The Rock music hits. Cody turns around towards the ramp to see if he's gonna come out, but no one does. It was all just a ruse to give Roman just enough time to hit Cody with a vicious spear. He gets back up and hits Roman with another one, then gets the 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns wins. Roman's music plays, and we see the ref raise his hands. And then as soon as his hands hit the air, we see the Bucks run into the ring and start beating up Cody. It looks like Roman is about to help, but he shakes his head and just gets out the ring. And once he does, AJ Styles' music hits, and he runs down the ramp to help Cody Rhodes. We see commentaries say they're sick of the Bucks always interfering and stuff, and they're glad to see AJ coming out and helping Cody Rhodes. But as soon as he gets in the ring to help Cody Rhodes, the Bucks run out and run through the crowd. And we see Roman standing at the top of the ramp, just looking on. And then The Rock appears on the Tron, and he only addresses Roman, saying, "Either you're with us or against us. But soon, Tribal Chief, you're gonna have to choose." We look back at Roman, who is just shaking his head in disgust, and SmackDown goes off air.